All right, guys, welcome to this evening's live stream. I was going to do it on essential fatty acids, and then I switched it completely. And I want to talk to you a bit about veganism because it's important to know the facts about veganism. It is definitely what is being pushed by the World Economic Forum, Bill Gates, the elites. They'll be able to afford $100 a steak, but there's many ways that they're basically trying to brainwash us uh, into thinking that a plant-based diet, they'll call it plant-based, but they're really pushing a vegan agenda. And I saw Pat, I think, was the one that mentioned about Dr. Berg being censored about ketogenic diets. And I can pull up that video here. YouTube is starting to ban keto. It goes against big pharma. It goes against the agenda 100%. I want to go through some of the nutritional deficiencies. This is going to not be comprehensive because I could do a 2-hour presentation. I'll have JD from Garland Farms come on, and maybe next time he'll be able to kind of fill in the holes that I didn't talk about. The vegan diet is deficient in a lot of things. We always hear about B12. Oh, just take a B12 supplement. I'm going to show you a little bit of the deficiencies in veganism, so that when a loved one or somebody pushes the vegan agenda with their virtue signaling, you'll be able to point out these facts, and at least you'll see it here. Let me just show you what they did to Dr. Berg. So Dr. Berg does a lot of preventative alternative ways of healing yourself. He's a chiropractor, but he has done a tremendous amount on the ketogenic diet. So he talks about a wide variety of things. So he's not just a site about the ketogenic diet, but he has done over 900. He said he did 960 ketogenic diet. So he's definitely a ketogenic diet advocate. He has 11.1 subscribers, and he's been hidden. He's been kind of shadow banned, I think they call it. Basically, when you look up anything, even though he's the one that might have the most views, you're going to get stuff like the Mayo Clinic popping up ahead. It's no longer, the most viewed that would show up at the start. He said that you literally have to like type in Dr. Eric Berg and then, keto or something like that. So they're definitely hiding him. And if they can hide somebody as influential as Dr. Berg, then it's not good for the rest of us, especially my tiny little channel. Probably my tiny channel, since it has no influence, will probably show up before Berg's. Let me just show you. This is the one that we're talking about. Dr. Berg gets censored.
Anything related to health that doesn't align with the general medical consensus. So if any information related to health doesn't agree with the World Health Organization, they won't necessarily always take down the video, but they're going to change the algorithms. So they're going to replace those videos that were popular, that had lots of likes and lots of engagement, with medical information. This new partnership with YouTube is supposed to protect you against misinformation and promote high quality health information. And their definition of misinformation is anything that opposes their viewpoint. I mean, if you go to drberg.com, you will see that I have 7,607 success stories. I'm helping people. I'm giving people lots of non-toxic solutions. And if you just read the comments, you'll see that a lot of people are being helped. So my information is not dangerous. It's not misinformation. It's actually quite helpful. And this new...
If I go over here to PubMed, because I got to switch it up a little bit so we don't get a strike, share this tab. So I just write ketogenic diet, PubMed. There's over 345,000 results. There's plenty of studies. I at this point have not seen any studies that say that a ketogenic diet is detrimental to your health. There are some that have possible concerns and things like that, but it's very favorable. It's been studied. This is not a new fad diet at all. I also have over here the Ketogenic Bible that pretty much has all of the citations after each chapter. If I go here, just to give you an example, probably won't see it very well. All that little print, those are all citations from studies, okay? And I read all of this before or while I was starting. There's also Dr. Fung, who's also an advocate for low-carb ketogenic diets, okay? He is a physician that's a nephrologist in Toronto, and he has a clinic to reverse type 2 diabetes, insulin-resistant patients before they get kidney failure. Because type 2 diabetes, we're actually injecting insulin, which causes more insulin resistance and creates a vicious cycle of needing more and more injections of insulin, which is what is literally the cause of diabetes. So it's like giving an alcoholic, he comes and says, doc, that bottle of vodka just ain't cutting it for me anymore, hardly feeling anything. So he prescribes him 2 bottles. And then for a certain amount of time, he gets what he needs. He gets that desired effect. Insulin's the same thing. When you are consuming carbohydrates and you create such an insulin resistance, because carbohydrates create the greatest influx into your blood of insulin. If you're at the point that you're so resistant that insulin is not even opening up your cells and your blood sugar starts climbing, just stop eating carbs. Like you're overflowing into your bloodstream so much carbohydrates. So just stop eating it. And that's basically what they used to do to patients that had type 2 diabetes prior to bovine insulin being extracted. It was the University of Toronto, actually, that was the first to isolate bovine insulin. And once that occurred, well, you know what? We'll treat it with insulin now. We won't tell them to stop eating carbohydrates. Makes absolutely no sense. And in this video here with Berg, the Mayo Clinic straight out lies. They're saying that ketones are toxic. That is a scientific lie. So these are, the Mayo Clinic might be correct on a lot of things, but when it comes to nutrition that's hijacked by big rich corporations and big rich people like Bill Gates putting all their money into farmland to prevent farming of animal food. That's the plan. Right up to Oprah. Oprah's like a bunch of like rich people are just buying up farmland. Some of them are still, bought up and using animal agriculture, but they can switch it like that. There's even in scientific research, reduce meat. And let me share this one. Get out of here, you moth. Stupid moth. Seriously, is this moth going to be bugging me the whole stream? I didn't send you a link. I got it. May as well eat it. It might be the only kind of protein that we're going to have in the future. Share screen. Over here, strategies to reduce meat consumption. So science is working really hard, okay, on all levels. Social sciences will put out the propaganda, strategies to reduce meat consumption, a systematic literature review on experimental strategies. That's cool, right? No agenda there at all. Towards reduced meat consumption. Review of intervention effectiveness. Cutting down or eating up, examining meat consumption reduction and sustainable food beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. All right. So this is what's the sciences like psychology and social science and stuff like that. It's a bunch of propaganda, studies in university. So, and that's just a little bit. So, yeah, definitely the question, is veganism the future, affects us all. It's no longer a choice. So it's no longer a choice whether you want to be vegan or not. Hey, we just want choices. No, it's no longer that. There's no more choice. What they're pushing is for a vegan diet. It is deficient and it causes a lot, especially of mental and cognitive declines. You go on YouTube, you'll see it plastered all over the place, brain fog, vegan brain fog. You have loss of libido. You have girls losing their periods. Look, I can just pop it up right now. Just give me a second. Sorry. Really quick on the button. Okay. Present. Share screen. So you write, you'll see these YouTubers that are vegan and stuff like that. It's like, here's the defense. When brain fog isn't nutritional on a vegan diet, well, maybe sometimes it isn't, but you're at least acknowledging that it is. How a vegan diet affects your brain, what causes brain fog on a vegan diet, and how to fix it fast. He looks very emaciated. Solving my brain fog diet. Soy face lead. Vegan brain fog. So it's definitely an issue. Miley Cyrus should have taken this for her vegan brain fog. I see Miley Cyrus, all of a sudden it goes to a dirty part. Sorry about that. Yeah, how to cure. So like you can see that in the keto community, no one's making tons of influencers that are trying to explain how to fix their brain fog. And we'll see that these are directly related to nutrient deficiencies like choline, especially as DHA, one of the omega-3 fatty acids. We can write vegan losing your period. Period loss when going vegan can be caused by diet, calorie intake, estrogen levels, and more. Period loss on a vegan diet, why it happens. Losing my period on a raw vegan diet. Vegans losing their periods? ? I have lost my period and I am 6 years raw vegan diet. I lost my period on a vegan diet. Losing hair and your period. A few reasons why. Low fat raw vegan calories. 6 years vegan to carnivore. Got my period back. Lost 25 pounds. Cured eczema, fatigue, and depression. I wasn't planning to put this up. It's just funny. All of a sudden, it's like I was 6 years vegan and I went carnivore and I cured everything. This one, get your period back. why veganism over 25 years, what veganism over 25 years did to my body, ex-vegan. Um, why don't we just check that out?
Hi, YouTube. So, I think I want to talk about what veganism did to me and to my body and to my mind.
She seems already like slowed down. Like 25 years, there's a lot of damage that's done that's probably not reversible.
I'm talking very long term vegan, and I know everyone can find somebody out there.
She's talking slow, so I'm going to speed it up to 1.25, and it'll probably sound like she's talking normal. Lear Keith, this is another lady that you should watch all of her videos to get informed on veganism. I have her book, Falling Apart. That's what happens when you leave it in the bathroom. I haven't gone through all the pages. I hope, like, I'm not missing like a few pages because the toilet paper ran out and someone used it. Nothing surprises me in my home. The Vegetarian Myth by Lear Keith. She's also on YouTube. Okay, let's listen to this poor lady.
Out of thousands of vegans that might be vegan long term, and you might want to use that as an example and say, oh, but this person, or but that person, or but I, or but whatever. But you know what? It's very, very rare to find someone who's been vegan for long term that's not completely emaciated. And actually, I would even argue that you cannot find a long term. I'm talking like over 20 years. Okay. Like I would say it's basically impossible to find someone who has been long term, like over 20 years, who is not emaciated. And what you don't realize, and what people don't realize, is that when you see someone on video camera and you might think, well, they look a little thin. Well, the video camera is lying to you because they actually look a lot thinner than what they do on video. Cameras add 10 pounds. See this right here? I don't really have a double chin, but for some reason the camera is exaggerating this. I'm not overweight at all.
You're in denial. It's not exaggerating. I'm just joking.
And when you see someone on YouTube and they look a little thin, no, in person, they look a lot thin, okay? A lot of vegans, like very popular vegans, they hide this. And the way they do this is with camera lighting, angles, jewelry, yes. For example, Fully Raw Christina, if you ever notice, she wears tons of these things around her wrist and her fingers because she doesn't want you to see her bones popping out, okay? Like, this is what I want to talk about. I had been vegan, and I'm talking like pretty militant, only for the exception of, because I didn't want to supplement with B12. I thought that the vegan diet was supposed to be like everything you needed, all natural. I didn't want to take B12. So in order to not die basically from anemia, which I'll get to in a minute, I would eat a little bit of egg, a little bit of yogurt every so often, just enough to keep me going. Okay, that's it. And I still got emaciated, and I still got extremely low in B12. I still got very, very sick, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to show you something. See this watch? I've had this watch since I was about 25. Oh, and by the way, I'm much older than I look, but I started being vegan right around the same time that I bought this watch. Towards the last few years of me being vegan, I could no longer wear this watch. I'll show you why.
It's flopping out.
It fits me now, of course, because I have not been vegan for about 5 or 6 years now. I have been eating a more rounded diet. But towards the last few years of me being vegan, when I got extremely sick with anemia, low B12, and walking pneumonia, this watch did not fit me back then. It would slide like crazy. I couldn't wear it. It was so loose. Well, you know what that tells me? My bones were shrinking. My bones were shrinking. My body, I was in starvation mode, and my body was taking what it needed to keep my heart pumping.
Yeah, there is a study, and it shows that the fracture rates in vegans are a lot higher. There is loss of period. That's not a good sign. You're not eating any fat basically on a vegan diet. So by not eating any fat or cholesterol, you're not going to produce sex hormones eventually. And there's also vitamin D that's connected with a lot of the sex hormones. And in the vegan plant world, it's only vitamin D2. It's animal food is has vitamin D3. So you're missing all three aspects of producing not just sex hormones, but many hormones.
popping from my bones. That's why I got so thin. Fits me now, of course. Yeah, that's really sad. So just keep that in mind. Whenever you see a vegan and they look a little thin, no, they look a lot thin. Think about the camera. Think about how it's adding 10 pounds to them. Think about.
I would have thought she would have like talked a little bit more about the details. Let's go back to Berg. So I flip through. We don't get a strike.
New change is going to hurt a lot of people because they're not going to be able to find alternative viewpoints, alternative opinions. Sometimes medicine doesn't work. Looking for inexpensive natural remedies to handle certain body issues. But guess what? Now they're going to have a very difficult time finding those solutions because all these medical sites are going to replace alternative health. I used to rank for so many conditions. Now you can't even find me unless you type Dr. Berg / whatever. And even on the keto diet, I have 928 keto videos. That's right, 928 videos. Guess what? When you type keto diet, you can't find me. Instead, the number one ranked video is from Mayo Clinic, okay? And the comments are turned off. And you can see the likes are actually not very high compared to the number of views. I think they have like 260,000 views, but very few likes. And it's an anti-keto video. And I'm going to share some interesting things on that video. But I first want to communicate a couple of things. A long time ago when Google started, they had this motto, and that was do the right thing. And then they changed it to don't be evil. And now I don't even know if they have a motto. But you think just giving people this one medical viewpoint, this monopoly over your body, your healthcare, keywords for the ketogenic diet. Now, why is that a bad thing? Because they don't have any experience in that area. Many times when doctors go to school, they don't get a lot of training in nutrition or anything alternative. And so now they get to be the controllers of that information as well. This next video that I'm going to show you is the video ranked number 1 for
keto. It's going to get me aggressive again. It got me aggressive last time because it's a lie in the ketogenic diet. It's like all you're doing is eating whatever animal food you want, and instead of having rice, pasta, grains, legumes, you're eating vegetables if you want. And you can have fruit, just not like tons of them. And you can have nuts if you want. So there's something magical if you put the meat there or the animal food there and you put some pasta. All of a sudden there's something magical that happens to your plate and it becomes safe and wonderful and complete. Even though you look at any pasta box, you're going to see there's 0 nutrients being added there. A lot of the so-called vitamins in fruits and vegetables are not in a bioavailable form. Okay, vitamin A doesn't exist in the plant kingdom. It's beta carotene. So when you take your Centrum vitamin, you'll look on the side, it'll say vitamin A, and it's in the form of beta carotene. Even though beta carotene is converted in the public anywhere from 65% down to 5%, there are gene mutations like the BCOM1 gene that cannot convert beta carotene into active vitamin A in retinol form, or the absorption is affected. So these people can have serious vitamin A deficiencies as well. Yet the vegan diet is being pushed on everybody. And they don't care about the individual. They care about pushing it on the masses. So they'll never tell you, you better go check your genes out to see if you can even convert beta carotene into something usable.
The ketogenic diet. Check this out.
According to Dr. Google, the most searched question of 2018 was, what is the keto diet?
Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, and this was even 4 years ago, keto is very popular. People are searching for it. The bottom line is the more people that get on this diet, the less medication they're going to need because it handles so many issues.
Instead of carbs for energy, the body burns fat, entering a state called ketosis.
Ketosis, what could go wrong? Sounds like a great plan.
It is.
Sounds a little dangerous
Yeah.
to me. That's why I've not tried it.
Dangerous? Really? Here's the problem. The lack of differentiating between therapeutic ketosis, okay, or they call it nutritional ketosis, and ketoacidosis. But mild ketosis or therapeutic ketosis is extremely therapeutic. And I'm going to put some links on a whole bunch of science.
Yeah, look at my brother. He's falling apart. He looks horrible.
behind that that supports that.
It's
When I
clinical
think
and
about
not.
ketosis, sometimes I get a little nervous. I think, well, gosh, we don't really actually want you in ketosis. But can you tell us about that?
Right. And I think this is something that is
Vegan face. She has no collagen, flat looking face, 100% telling you that she's vegan.
the unknown
Mhm.
with when people are saying, well, I'm going to put myself on a ketogenic diet and be in ketosis, because really when you think about what ketosis is, it's a alternative pathway
Mhm.
that our body has to use in times of emergency.
So right there, you could see that a huge bias. They don't want people to do keto. They think ketosis only occurs in an emergency situation when you are starving or something like that. That is so false. Talk about misinformation on steroids. That is absolutely not true. Did you realize that when your body
Yeah, and they're not ignorant. Okay, that's the agenda that they're pushing. Don't have to watch all of it. I think we get the point on that one. I'm not going to look at this lady again. She has a lot of talk, but didn't get too many details. If you want a more detailed videos, you can go to my lives, not my lives, the videos actually. Here, let me just share. Got to watch out. Bruce, maybe another 15 minutes, or I can let you on very soon. Present. I actually had a lot of stuff that I wanted to present, and I didn't even present it. But I can present it while Bruce is on here too. That's a possibility here. So it used to be, right, Fast Keto Prime. So all of my initial videos are against veganism and information on the ketogenic diet. Over here, there are some that I go through a lot more detail of the deficiencies in a vegan diet. Here, why it's ethical to eat animal source nutrition. So my argument is, if vegan diet or vegan diet without animal sources of nutrition had every single nutrient essential for a person to thrive, then it would be unethical to use animal food. But the hard facts is that it is devoid of many minerals, nutrients, vitamins. Animal protein is more anabolic. Okay, so this idea that plant protein is the same as animal protein, no, you are what you're made of. And when you eat an animal, and it's our animal body is being fed. We're not plants. Okay, so they have their own like little thing of vitamins, and they have their own little thing of all sorts of phytonutrients that are being pushed as if they're like nature's vitamins, when in fact they actually have a lot of nutrient deficiencies. All right, so I'm going to share quickly. I'm going to go to 45. We're at 20 minutes. I'll put you on at 45, Bruce. Saya. Freaking hawking up a lung in there. I hope you don't hear it. Entire screen. So just to show how manipulative and deceiving that Mayo Clinic thing is, here's the ketogenic diet. All right. When you do the ketogenic diet, right, it improves your insulin sensitivity, and it also reduces visceral fat around your organs. More ketones to fuel your neurons. The brain is actually optimized on a ketogenic diet. That's why they even have Exona, a ketone supplement for Alzheimer patients. Mitochondrial biogenesis. So a cell becomes more efficient. Mitochondria has to do with changing the calories into energy, the Krebs cycle and everything. So you have increased energy efficiency because it creates biogenesis. It creates more mitochondria to work in your cell. This overall improves network stability. You have improved function. You have a reduction in radical oxygen species. You always hear about antioxidants. Eat a wide variety of colorful plants and fruits and stuff because they're high in antioxidants. Being in ketosis itself is a way of producing antioxidants and reduce systemic inflammation, right? So again, all of this is, I guess, dangerous for people to be in, right? It's dangerous because you're not going to buy any medications. You're not going to get chronic diseases and things like that. So it's unhealthy for the system that's trying to make us sick. Yeah, these are disgusting keto plates. I'm a bit peeved. You can always go, if you want one-on-one coaching, to my Patreon page. It's on the top of my channel. You can also contact me at jjswartz79@gmail. Here, let's check this out. Debunking the vegan myth. The case for a plant-forward, omnivorous, whole food diet. So vegan diets are widely promoted as protective against cardiovascular disease. However, removing all animal foods from a human diet usually causes unfavorable health consequences. Our human ancestors began consuming meat, fish, seafood, eggs more than 2 million years ago. I'll just say that our body is created to be optimal with animal nutrition. Consequently, humans are genetically adapted to procure nutrients from both plants and animal sources. In contrast, veganism is without evolutionary precedent. It's only possible in this decadent society where everything, you can get coconuts in Canada and pineapples in the middle of winter. Everything is shipped in the middle section in boxes. You have everything all season. And they want us to eat a wide variety of everything because it's good for the economy. Look at my brother, for example. He's fasting 7 days. He's eating keto, pretty much carnivore in between. He did this for a couple of months now. And you know how much food he saved? Do you know how much money that he didn't have to spend at a grocery store? If everyone was doing keto, and you're just, let's say, doing 5 days in a row, and then 2 days you're 48-hour fasting, okay, because you feel full because you're eating animal food, that adds up to 96 days in a year where you are not consuming any food. That is saving the budget over a little over 3 months. So imagine not consuming any money for 3 months out of the year. This is a nightmare for big business. Over here, in contrast, veganism is without evolutionary precedent. Strict adherence to a vegan diet causes predictable deficiencies in nutrients, including vitamins B12, B2, vitamin D, niacin. The iron is in a non-heme iron form. It's not absorbable. It's very hard to absorb. Iodine, zinc, again, high quality proteins. There's essential amino acids that you need to acquire, and the plants are missing completely some of the essential nutrients, the essential amino acids, as well as if they are considered complete, there's very, very small amounts. Omega-3, which is extremely important. Your brain is 60% fat, and it has a high concentration of DHA, which is an omega-3. Plants do not have DHA and EPA that the body uses. They have ALA, and it's converted something like 3%. I have it, I'll pop it up. Okay, so you're losing like 95% of it is not being used at all. So that's another deficiency, essential fats. And they're all fat phobic. The only fats they're getting are maybe from, coconut oil or olive oil, avocado oils, and those don't have any omega-3. They're just primarily omega-6. So a prolonged strict veganism increases the risk for bone fractures. Sarcopenia is the wasting away of muscle, like the lady had mentioned. Anemia, depression. I'd add evidence of anxiety, brain fog, or if you do have a predisposition to mental illness, it'll be aggravated. If we go here, epidemiological studies report that vegans who do not supplement. So it's like do the vegan diet, and you can have a whole a whole drawer full or a pantry of all sorts of supplements. You can again go on YouTube and check out people veganism and supplements, and you'll see like these are the supplements I'm using. There's boxes of them. So the vegans who do not supplement with omega-3 fatty acids and will be at a high risk for deficiency of both EPA and DHA, which are found predominantly in fish, seafood, game meats, pasture-raised eggs. Recent studies report that low omega-3 levels in the cell membranes and blood are associated with reduced life expectancy and higher risk of major adverse cardiovascular diseases. Furthermore, the deficiency is associated with depression, anxiety, systemic inflammation, autoimmune disorders. That's why people going on a carnivore diet for autoimmune disorders remove a lot of the anti-nutrients, the phytochemicals, and you're starting to get adequate amounts of omega-3 to omega-6. Autism, macular degeneration, the inflammation worsens asthma. The ALA is a plant-based omega-3 that can be hepatically converted to the beneficial long-chain fatty acids by the liver. Less than 5% of ELA to EPA. Okay, less than 5%. So you're consuming the ALA, and at best you're getting 5% of it that your body can use, and there's virtually none in DHA. You don't think that's possibly an issue? Conspiracy Jason over here thinking that the New World Order, and they're going to try and push us into smart cities with surveillance and social credit scores, basically turn us into what China is at the moment. World Economic Forum, Yuval Noah Harari, just watched. They're like, yeah, humans were just algorithms. They're going to engineer brains and minds and all sorts of stuff. They're treating us worse than cattle. So it's very beneficial to have omega-3 deficiencies. It'll reduce lifespan. First of all, it'll support the pharmaceutical industry. And it will dull you down. It will make you less sharp cognitively. If you have anxiety and depression and stuff like that, you're not thinking, how's the World Economic Forum, sorry to be rude, screwing us over kind of thing. You're suffering psychologically, mentally. You're not going to be catching on to all the social changes that they're doing to remove our rights. There's also mineral deficiencies. So vegan and vegetarian diets frequently result in mineral deficiencies. Phytates that are found in plants are anti-nutrients. They're found in grain and legumes. These compounds interfere with the absorption of essential minerals, including calcium, zinc, iron, iodine, magnesium. We haven't even talked about vitamin B12, guys, yet. But that's all you hear. You just think, well, I'm going to go vegan because it's healthier. That's what I hear everyone saying, plant-based. And we're not even going to get into how it's a lie. It's worse for the environment, veganism. It's actually kills and causes a lot more animal suffering. We're not getting into that. JD can come on and we can go into that. Just talking about the nutrient aspects here. Because vegan and vegetarian diets generally include copious amounts of grains and legumes, they are unavoidable, these phytates. So they are unavoidably high in phytates, which reduce the absorption of non-sodium minerals. Vegans and vegetarians are at increased risk of iron deficiency despite the presence of substantial amounts of iron in many plant-based foods. Plants contain non-heme form, okay? Same thing with calcium. Okay, it's calcium oxalate, which is not an absorbable form. So you can say that you're on the side of your box, you're getting all these things. They're lying to us. Okay, and it's important that you guys know the information because you hear plant-based all around. You might have a friend that's going to fall for it. So at least you'll be able to like point them and or you yourself go, I'm going to look up a study here and show my friend. Okay. Or even worse, like your wife is pregnant, and she's vegan and stuff like that. Accordingly, levels of ferritin and hemoglobin are significantly lower in vegans. Iron deficiency increases a pregnant woman's risk of preterm delivery. Make the next the next generation. Ideally, we see that they're already corrupting children with satanic, in my opinion, ideologies, okay, confusing the children. And let's make sure the next generation are also degenerate in nutrients because the mother fell for the lie. So low birth weight, impaired brain development in their infants. So vegans are also at increased risk of zinc deficiencies, while meat, fish, shellfish, dairy, eggs are rich sources of bioavailability. Zinc, some zinc-rich plants, nuts, seeds, whole grains have poor bioavailability. Again, owing to the presence of these phytates, which inhibit zinc absorption in the gut. Inadequate zinc consumption is associated with depression, dermatitis, diarrhea, and the loss of hair, alopecia. Observational studies routinely find that vegans and vegetarian diets increase the risk of iodine deficiencies, and hypothyroidism happens. A European study reported 80% of vegans and 25% of lacto-vegetarians had iodine deficiency. Plant-based foods, except for seaweed, are inadequate dietary sources of iodine compared to animal sources. Vegans customarily consume insufficient calcium and vitamin D owing to the avoidance of dairy products and calcium bioavailability problems in plant-based diets. Vitamin D insufficiency actually impairs calcium absorption because they work together. And most of these vitamins don't work they all work synergistically together. You start having one deficiency, you're impairing another aspect of nutrients. Hinders bone formation, thereby compromising skeletal health in vegans. Multiple studies reported increased multivariable adjusted risk of bone fractures among vegetarians and vegans. Vegans have reduced bone mineral density at the femoral neck and lumbar vertebrae, and higher fracture risks. Inadequate protein, I'm going to jump through that. We're talking about essential amino acids and the lack of essential amino acids in a lot of the plant-based material. Taurine is an amino acid that helps to support endogenous antioxidant levels and may be important for optimal function of the brain, heart, eyes, and immune system. Because plants contain little to no taurine, many vegans and vegetarians are deficient in this important amino acid, which can predispose them to a myriad of health issues. I don't think I have this popped up. Yeah, you know what? If you're skinny and frail, you might not die of heart disease, but you'll die of something else like Alzheimer's and stuff like that. When you do studies about all-cause mortalities, so it's like we're not looking at one specific, like, do vegans live longer than non-vegans? It's not better. a comprehensive systemic review of 18 studies comparing meat eaters, people who abstain from meat. The majority of studies, and especially the higher quality studies, showed that those who avoided meat consumption had significantly higher rates of depression, anxiety, and self-harm behaviors. One study found a meat avoider had approximately twofold increased risk for unipolar depression disorder and anxiety disorders. Here we're looking at vegetarians and semi-vegetarians and non-vegetarians. You have, vegetarian, semi, and meat eaters. You see it's always higher. Anxiety, depression, eating disorders are higher. So that's all I wanted to do about that. Let's see. You can come on down now, Bruce, if you like. We can continue a few other things, and after your update, there's a few more articles, but you can be chatting with me or stop if you have any thoughts. So thanks, Jules, Bruce, for being here and hopefully coming on very soon. You're completely right, Pat, about them starting to ban keto. Thanks for being here, Leah, Darla. We have 9 to 12 people that seem to be averaging right now. My wife is vegan. Well, hopefully you should have her look into. Don't look at my video. It's biased, 100% biased. But start looking yourself and look at all the studies. Go through every study. Check the essential amino acids. Check the nutrients. Check vitamin D3. It's devoid of that. It has D2, and it's not used as efficiently. Beta carotene. That's the form of vitamin A. It's not retinol. Then after, and you saw the ones that we went through. Same thing with K3, K2. It doesn't have K2, it only has K1. And vitamin K1 and 2 are completely different. K1's for coagulation of the blood, and K2 has a myriad of functions. One being that it signals calcium to go in the correct locations, among other things. Bruce, is he going to come on? Bruce, I sent you the link, so he should be coming on very soon. So I'll just continue. Stop. Cool. Good. Tell him he can come on here, Melissa, and give his testimony. I'd like to have a lot of people on, everyone sharing their experience and stuff like that. So over here, this is an abstract of the essential fatty acids and human brain. The human brain is nearly 60% fat. We've learned in recent years that fatty acids are among the most crucial molecules that determine your brain's integrity and ability to perform. Essential fatty acids are required for maintenance of optimal health, but they cannot synthesized by the body and must be obtained from dietary sources. Clinical observation studies has related imbalanced dietary intake and fatty acids to impair brain function and performance. So, sorry, I got a bunch of things popping up. Some messengers. The essential fatty acids, particularly the omega-3 acids, are important for brain development during both the fetal and postnatal period. And we just saw what we popped up, that DHA and EPA were like less than 5%. And I think it was DHA was less than 1%. So this is very, very serious. And it goes right into, right into the kind of diet that these psychopath New World Order, World Economic Forum, Brave New World, elites want us to do. Bill Gates said, he goes, the developed countries should be eating lab-grown meat and meat replacements. The essential fatty acids are important for the brain development during both the fetal and postnatal period. DHA is needed for optimum functional maturation and the retina and visual cortex, with visual acuity and mental development seemingly improved by extra DHA. Beyond their important role in building the brain structure, essential fatty acids as messengers are involved in the synthesis of and function of brain neurotransmitters. No wonder, you get depression when you're limiting so much animal fat on a vegan diet. And in the molecules of the immune system, neural membranes contain phospholipid pools that are the reservoirs for the synthesis of specific lipid messengers on neural stimulation or injury. The messengers in turn participate in signaling cascades that can either promote neural injury or neural protection. The goal of this review is to give a new understanding of how essential fatty acids determine our brain integrity and performance, and to recall the neuropsychiatric disorders that may be influenced by them. As we further unlock the mysteries of how essential fatty acids affect the brain and better understand the brain's critical dependence on specific essential fatty acids, correct intake of the appropriate diet or supplements, I don't agree with supplements, becomes one of the tasks we must undertake. I just want to see if Bruce is here. All right. Hey, Bruce. Sorry for the delay, man.
I knew I'd go for a piss, and that he turned it on while I was taking a piss. Sorry, man.
It happened last time too. That it was like right when I decided.
Couldn't hold us. I'm gonna get up right now, and I start, and I hear, well, let's see what Bruce. Oh fuck. How's it going, man?
Good. Hey, Garland Farms in the house.
Oh, is he good?
Yeah.
You were telling me you didn't know, you hadn't heard or something. We get busy.
I thought he got abducted by aliens or something like that, but he just took he's been going 5 years, constantly making these videos debunking veganism, and I think he just needed like a reset. Personally,
if it was a vegan, we'd have thought he was maybe dead.
No, exactly.
Listen, to all vegans listening, join in the debate. I'm being funny about it because I got nothing against vegans. I love salad.
Like the thing is that it's not against vegans, because who cares? That's existed since the 60s. It's against the vegan agenda that is going to remove.
A WEF. Yeah, and they're doing that. They're doing that deliberately with other things that we can't even mention, that it's actually going to harm them, immunitary wise and stuff with what they're doing.
I mean, did you see the bull crap systemic research on how to decrease meat consumption in men and stuff like that? I don't know if you missed that.
It's so scary, Jason. They put DARPA, for the defense, are developing artificial intelligence. They put brain chips inside of the brain of larvae. Moth larva, wasp larva, inside of the brain of the wasp, to change something in their DNA before they're born. They got these nanoparticulates riding around inside of them. That's crazy stuff, and that's a larvae. Imagine that, what they can do to us.
They're doing the first controlled the first implant of the Neuralink. If you've seen that pop up with Elon.
They've been talking about it. He was the first to introduce it, right, Elon? And then he tried You know, remember at one point you heard them saying we have to slow it down. We have to stop AI to be sure that we take control of it before it takes us over. Now, for
Yeah.
someone that doesn't know what they're doing and sits down, the first thing I answered was, that's so stupid. You just shut it off. But what they want to do is like an automated planet where these bitchin' robots are actually going to be police on their own cognitive with like living
Yeah.
parts like a heart and stuff that was in labs, not from a sperm or embryo. And we talked about it last time. The embryo, you know, no sperm. They just invented it right now. They
Yeah.
go, it makes different types of embryo. So in other words, they're creating life that's not human, like all different forms and stuff, and they're mixing DNAs. That's
It's
worse than
abomination.
Frankenstein movies are not that bad.
Well, you always hear about the predictive programming, like
Yeah, that's real. I believe in that.
they call it. There's one guy calls it kind of a. I mean, it's like lesser magic. It's like, you know, it's like a ritual that we watch on Hollywood, and it's
Yeah.
done over and over, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, it's just like you know, Terminator. It's just like that movie. It's like, no, there's something definitely to it. Let me just jump right through two articles, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just want to show specifically one thing, and then I want to hear the update about you know, where you are with the fasting and the weight loss and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So give me just 2 seconds. I want to share screen. I had other articles, but we'll keep it. Maybe the next one we'll continue with veganism for a bit, because there's a lot to be said.
Lots of shit going on in Canada too, with Trudeau and the Nazi shit there going on.
There's too much. There's too much. You can't keep up. There's just too much stuff.
It's ridiculous.
Here, this is the one I wanted to show. The other one was talking about the fatty acids, the omega-3, that's devoid. It doesn't exist. Okay, ALA is in the other one. They talked about less than 5% is usable, and less than 1% was usable, I think, of EPA. This one does 6% and 3.8. So these are these flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds that the vegan think that they're getting all of these essential fatty acids just through plants. And if you're not eating it with here it says a diet rich in omega-6, which is always the case in because they're eating a lot of packaged and processed stuff, you know, crispers and wraps and stuff like that. They're all full of omega-6. And if you have too much omega-6, this measly 6% and what is the other one, 3.8% is reduced by 40 to 50%. So that's why I was showing vegan brain fog, higher depression rates, higher anxiety, because our brain is 60% fat, and it is DHA. It's the organ with the most DHA that's present. And then I'm going to jump to this one.
My ass was 80% fat. I had a 60% fat brain and an 80% fat ass. I was lucky I didn't have a fat ass. Actually, it was everything getting big at the same time.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out soon the tally of how much you lost. Don't say anything yet. The absorption of beta carotene from plant sources, what they call vitamin A, is 65%, and some people it's 5%. And there's actually a gene mutation that humans have. I think it's BCOM1, and if you have that, you can't use any beta carotene for vitamin A. So these vegans that get convinced, you know, all you need is B12, and it's so much more you know, good for
is it safe to, not to cut you off, is it safe to say that somebody that does want to be a vegan, that it could be okay for doing a prolonged or not prolonged, like maybe months or a year max or something, but but depending on their metabolism. In other words, someone can be vegan for 3 months and fall very sick as compared to somebody that has more nutrients.
Exactly. Some people can stretch it longer. A lot of them are lying and they are cheating. But because if somebody's coming, you know, they're fat, sick, and almost dead kind of thing. If you just stop eating for a year, okay, and you're 300 pounds, you'll feel amazing. So
yeah, that's what happened to me. Like literally, that's what I did. I stopped cold turkey on day one.
So if people go from, you know what, they're eating unhealthy, they're obese, and then they go, oh, plant-based is ideal. They fall for the Kool-Aid kind of thing. They drink the Kool-Aid. They'll feel likely, a lot of people will feel better, but it's not because of the diet. It's such a contrast difference from the crap that they were eating to that. But over time,
No more dark urine. 4 months that it took. That if I didn't have a sip of water to get rid of it, it wouldn't stop. Toxic, like literally maple syrup. And now nothing. Nice, regular, normal color, and nothing like less toxins coming out of me. And that's
so
funny.
give us your update, because I'm done with the things I wanted to show. So
Right, exactly.
like
So
yours.
305 is the weight that I declared. I know I was 305, but I didn't mention that I could have been 310. I mentioned it at the beginning, but I didn't count that as weight loss because I went 2 weeks. So you never know. I could have been 312 and lost a lot of weight. But so 5 pounds doesn't matter because I lost 99 pounds. So that's the weight. I'm at 206. And that was 2-3 days ago.
Wow.
So I went from 305 to 206. Now probably from April 12th to a couple of days ago. So April, May, June, July, August. At August, I was at 214 there, and then September, losing 10, 12 pounds a month still, Jason.
Yeah. Oh, you'll get to ideal body weight if you continue. So I know initially you were doing almost like 7 days complete fasting, and then you were doing like a 1 or 2 day refeed, or how many meals would be?
Oh, no. I ate in the whole time. There's 6 days that I ate after 24 hours. Like me, it's you eat one meal after fasting many days, or 48 hours. Often I did the 48 to 3 days. That was very common. It was 95%.
You were like mixing it up. You
were. Because you see, I just did my groceries. I had some hamburger meat today, and I had some strawberries yesterday. I ate 2 times there. So, but you see, it wasn't a meal. I had a cup of the strawberries, and then I had another cup of the strawberries. But now I'm going to go 3-4 days. So that was a binging for me, by going, I ate one day. Well, I don't want to eat the next day, but I did. And honestly, because I ate something 2 days in a row, right now, at the time I ate yesterday, I had an excruciating pain in my stomach, like I was starving. And that's instantaneously upon eating 2 days in a row. And when I say, and I'm not intermittent, so I don't eat 2 days in a row. I eat a meal at 6 at night or 11 in the afternoon, wherever I start or stop, doesn't matter, and I random it up pretty much. I eat as much as I can and want, I have the pound of hamburger meat. I'll throw 3-4 eggs in that sometimes if I'm really hungry, but I've also done just eating, like at the beginning, I was really harsh on myself. I'd eat 3 eggs and I'd go 5-6 days without eating. Then I'd have a can of tuna. I'd go 2 more days without eating, but that got me down so much. And I didn't feel bad at all. I felt energetic. I started doing exercises, and now I don't have to exercise. I haven't exercised in 2 months, and except for the exercise outside, but the weight is going down too. If I'd continue exercising, I would have been already under the 200 easily.
Yeah. For
quite
sure.
easily. Yeah.
Do you mind if I show what you look like a 6?
No. I insist. I mean, it's horrible. When I look at it, it's a horrible change. Like you can see a devastating change, but I want people to see that because it feels good. Now I got my face I don't give a shit now what I looked like before, honestly, No,
exactly. Here, let me share screen. I want to try and share the screen. Okay.
And you get me on a day where the side of my eye was swollen or something. Fuck. I mean, the face was swollen.
It shows one of them there, but I have to actually change something.
Yeah, that's the one. It looks like a fucking mask. I'm sorry there. It looks like I got a fake mask on it. I'm the size of the sun behind me.
Yeah. Here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait a minute. And that almost, are you sure you didn't make me bigger?
No.
This is fucked up, eh? Like looking at
Yeah.
it there, I don't do it too often, but on my music channel, I go
Yeah.
back 10 videos and I look fat. Every time I go back 10 videos, I look fat. Every 10 videos, you know?
Yeah,
That's-
yeah, no, and this is what's sad. You have a Dr. Berg, who I think his intentions are good, and he has over close to 1,000 keto videos, and they're all being banned. And when people now look up keto,
look at me now. I'm like,
they're bombarded.
it's hilarious.
They're bombarded by propaganda that says it's unhealthy, and it scares people away.
Of course. Even a neighbor told me I was going to die. She told me I was going to die. She goes, so
Oh,
so
you're
how
supposed to-
much are you down now? I said 100 pounds. It's like, what are you mad? Are you fucking mad because I lost 100 pounds? Ooh, 100 pounds. You're going to die. It's unhealthy to stop, you know? Are you smoking? What does that have to do with freaking losing weight?
Are you smoking crack?
Because she has to add something else. Are you smoking? Oh, you're dying. You're going to die. You don't eat, you're going to die. I said, I do eat a lot of butter and bacon and stuff. She goes, they don't believe me. For real, they don't believe me. But don't forget, the same one that doesn't believe me, she's a sweetheart, but she's
Yeah.
also the one that doesn't believe me that I film UFOs. They go, you're filming girls on the moon again? I'm like, yeah, they don't have sexes. But anyways, she's like, what?
No,
They don't have genitals. Did you know that? They don't have genitals. I just throw it out to them. They're like, they think I'm sick. They think I'm crazy because I say they don't have genitals. The little gray
Oh,
aliens. You know?
when I go at work, sometimes if I'm hungry, I'll have a breakfast, and the cafeteria doesn't give. They have turkey bacon, weird stuff like that. But there's like the volunteer shop, with the old ladies, and they have bacon, egg, sausage, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
what I'll usually get is 4 eggs, bacon, and sausage.
Yeah.
And they're always like, they look at me like, oh, do you want any bread? No.
Yeah, I know. They're like,
Do you want any
Rice?
potatoes?
rice, potato.
Yeah, and it's like they're confused. But you could have like a huge like croissant or cinnamon bun with some chocolate milk, and you show up at the cash, and it's like
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But
You go to the restaurant, they offer there's breadsticks, crackers, and butter and stuff, and people are they're rubbing crackers, butter, breadsticks, and buns, and with the cold butter that rolls. I used to just stick it in the middle, and I used to squeeze the bread around the center of the butter square.
yeah,
Take a bite out of that.
me, I'm gonna be 48 hours. I haven't fasted in a while, so I was like, okay, I gotta get back.
That's
into
good. That's good. I just did a 3 days. I did a 3 days. I did a 6.5 days before going to weigh myself.
Yeah.
When I went down to say hi to mom, I wanted to weigh myself. So when I weighed myself on the scale, 206, stark naked,
Wow.
stark naked. So that means at the end of this month, I will be 197 is my prediction. 195, 197 for next month, which is reasonably 8-9 pounds.
Yeah.
8-9 pounds. I might lose the 10. I could be down to 192. And now I'm close to the weight where I'm going to be. I'm not going to be 170. I'm not
Mhm.
going to get down to 180, but I'm still going to continue my fasting. If it just so happens I get down to 189, but I'm fit, so friggin' be it. I'm not going to stop. I'm not stopping fasting yet. I'm
No.
still fasting, but I want to train. I want to
Yeah.
train to maintain mass and not to have extra mass. I don't want to go up in weight. I just want to keep my weight there. Oh, maybe
Yeah.
5-10 pounds. When people train, they can go up a bit in weight, but it won't show. It'll be the weight on my arms and not on my face,
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
My
Yeah,
head is literally as big as the effing microphone.
Yeah, I know. We could probably.
It's
Maybe-
like,
Maybe I could go try and find one that's even worse if you want.
yeah,
But,
you won't find one worse, dude. If you do, let me know, because that was pretty bad. That was bigger than I actually saw myself, actually.
yeah, it's always like that. Like
Yeah, when I lost weight, and now other people that I used to know and I see, they all look fat. All
Yeah.
the people that I used to talk to before losing the weight, they all look chubby. It's like I
Yeah.
see it now.
no, I know it's. Let me see.
I fit in a pair of my son's shorts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have any clothes? It's like,
No, none. One shirt, 2 other shirts. I have 3 shirts in all. 1 pair of pants now. I was able to find a winter coat that's going to be loose in 4 weeks, probably. But I'm way back down to the coats, Jason, back in my 20s there. I'm going way back in my old coats. I have
Let me
18
just,
coats here that are too big.
okay, so just if there might be, let's say, some new people that don't know the whole story. So what did you do besides fasting? Talk about how much water you drank. Were you taking any supplements or anything like that? Yeah.
Straight up fasting, and I went from eating 2 big ass plates of spaghetti every day to stop eating for 24 hours, but I did more than 24 hours. I did probably about 30 hours. Next day I did 48. Then after that I went up to 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I didn't stop. And then the first 2 weeks was the less I have eaten in the whole diet. I wasn't eating nothing. I was able to go long, prolonged periods of time.
Yeah.
The only thing that I wanted to eat was the thought in my head. It wasn't a pain in my stomach. And I said, if there's a pain in my stomach, I will eat.
Yeah.
But the pain in the head was always there. And it was always like, eat something salty, just, a handful of noodles or something with a lot of cheese on it or something. It's like continually my brain fighting with my brain for that, just like it's a heroin addiction or something. Food.
But
just like that.
you were taking salt or something?
Taking the pinches of salt and stuff.
Yeah.
Taking the vitamins, strong vitamin for males. But honestly, I've missed 90% of the time. I take 2 or 3 a week, and I forget for weeks often. But I take them. Didn't have too much cramping. No brain fog except for one day, maybe a couple of times after a stream, I got up too fast that I noticed
dizziness. Yeah, that's salt during the adaptation period.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. But nothing critical. And I noticed that when that happens and I go, and I take in more oxygen in my brain, right away it unfogs immediately by taking up.
For other people that don't know that, if you're coming from just a standard diet where there's a lot of carbohydrate consumption, to have to completely restrict the carbohydrates, your body needs time to become efficient at using fat for fuel. So it's a complete different fuel that you're using. Some people can have 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks. Some people don't at all. But the typical symptoms, you might feel brain fogged. You might have a headache. You might, when you go from sitting to standing, kind of feel like you're dizzy.
Yeah, that did that for the first time was 2 weeks ago. That did that, and now it's like sort of like an old lady. I sort of go like, and then I get up slowly. Me, I'm very fast on my feet. I run to do my things. When I get up in the morning, making coffee, bathroom, go out to the back, dishes, I run. I spend my time running, Who said all I was vegan? Yeah, that's some people are ill. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of quite a few people that were ill,
JD knows the stats on how many people, how long they last, and like how many percent return. Just keep on talking. I'm just going to remind my son.
Like people obviously back in the days, berry gatherers or salad eaters, plant eaters, it was most likely because there were certain periods where there were no animals or winters went by and they didn't have as much food. And who knows, they take in all that salad and freeze it and just munch on that like a bunch of rats. Basically, there's no two ways about it. That's pretty obvious back in the days that everyone in general must most likely have started, with the meat, but eventually, I was saying things can happen, back in the days. If someone's vegan because maybe for 3 months there was a cataclysmic event, all animals were dead or something, then everyone started picking berries, It's maybe not something that was natural for civilizations. They obviously all started with meats in the friggin' Bible. Meats in the Bible. I mean,
like living off the fat of the land, like let's kill the fatted calf. Like fat was prized. And if you look, I do have a book, not on me. I obviously lent it. And you never get it back. Nutrition and physical degeneration and stuff like that. To be honest, like it was the organ meats that were actually prized. So yeah, like the steak was actually they would give that to, let's say, the dogs and stuff like that to feed the huskies or something like that.
Right.
Exactly. It's so for me, if somebody's going complete carnivore, I think that they should incorporate some kind of organ meat, and yeah. So just want to say hi to the people here. Thanks.
Yeah, go ahead,
for
man.
coming in. Here, you see the comments. You can stop me too. So
Actually, yeah, I can't. I can't. It's funny, that I can't join the comments because they say I have to sign on, and I'm online right now. No,
Yeah.
it's not because of you. It's me. It's a glitch.
well, at one point, when I put the links in the comments section, then anybody, even somebody who's banned, can click on it and then pop into the back studio.
Yeah.
So I had what's his name, Nub's Revenge.
Yeah.
and I, and I keep on like booting him out. It's very juvenile.
Pathetic.
You
He's
know,
an ass.
I politely, tell him like, no, you're not coming on the stream. But he knows that him doing stuff, all my eye is catching is that. So I had to ban or press that one where now you have to put in an email, and I don't know if that is for everyone from now on.
Yeah,
or
it's
it was-
complicated a bit, but I get what you say. Yeah, there's sort of,
So I hope it's not everybody that has to do that.
Yeah.
So we have Darla, we have
Melissa with electrolytes. Yeah.
yeah, Melissa. I wanted to acknowledge her because I don't think does she come from your channel? I don't think I've seen her here.
Let's see. Oh, it could
Hey,
be.
Leah.
It could be. I have several of Melissas that come to the channel,
Okay.
and I hope no insult, Melissa. I mean, I have always a hard time, but yeah,
Rod,
definitely,
hey
Jason.
buddy, how are you? Hazer, we live a farm and she hates it when the separate the calves from the mother to sell at market. The noise makes her upset. I understand. Now I'm a carnivore, so is my son. Both daughter are vegan. Must be a female thing. Well, you're always welcome to come on, and I will post a link towards the end. Other people can pop on.
Yeah, because I was making fun there. Lots of vegan jokes. Like I was telling people in here, I said, if you're here, I'm just teasing the vegans. In reality, I do not despise people who eat salad.
No, I have a serious concern for long-term veganism.
Yeah, no, listen, from what you
should
taught me
inform
is dangerous.
people.
You're teaching me
should.
this. I saw
So-
your work over the years, man. Often enough to know that there's more than just some dangerous shit that can happen there. It's a long-term thing. Once everything starts going haywire, it really screws up the metabolism.
So Hazer says, I'm suffering from many illnesses from undiagnosed type 2 diabetes for over 12 years. So with the carnivore diet, has your diabetes drastically improved? I would assume it would, because carnivore is a form of ketogenic diet. And Hazer, have you, give us an update, or when I post a link, you can come on and inform us if you're technically the type 2 diabetes, the insulin resistance should go into remission, especially if you're adding some intermittent fasting. Yeah, please put cap locks. There's a little bit more busy. Usually my channel is like not busy, so now there's a lot of comments. I don't want to miss comments, so if you put it in cap locks, I'll be able to not miss it. I'm Scottish.
Bye bye, Hauser. Hauser's is taking off. I left a bit lower. He's
I like
he's
that.
off tomorrow morning. Have a nice drive up, my friend.
Hey, Hazer says, I'm Scottish. We only
Hauser.
put salad on the plate because we like the nice colors.
Yeah,
I like him. He's
but
funny.
he would have to say it with a Scottish accent, you know.
Yeah. I'm not
We
gonna
only put the salad on the plate because we like the nice colors. I know it's a bad.
I don't do those accents because when I'm trying to sound, let's say Scottish, I sound Irish, and then
Same.
then
I'll do an English semi-Spanish sort of off
like
thing.
for them. It's like no, you're always the wrong one. It's like I'm not.
That's like English and British. There's so many different English ways of talking. There's some that are talking, well, have a Coke. You know, there's different types of, have a Coke. I love it. I think they're amazing. English, British, all the accents around the world. I love
they are.
imitating them. I get in trouble sometimes because I just like imitate them. So much stuff fun to do. You know, it's like.
Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming it's Hazer or Hazard.
Hazer.
Oh, it's sorry,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
because I'm blind. I
No, you're
saw
not blind. It's because
Yeah.
the lettering are freaking tiny. Hey, Jason, do you ever use? I always forget. On top, it says view. You could actually zoom it up a little bit, and I never do it. I started doing that recently. On top in
top
your
right?
yeah, where you would see file, edit, and stuff on top, like on the
yeah.
complete. Yeah, well, file, edit, view. If you see view, you should be able to zoom it in, and it'll make your screen a lot bigger. You can see it a lot easier. I started that last week. Like I was sitting there, like, oh hi, Michelin. No, it's Michael. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, it should be up in the taskbar on top. Or if
Yeah, I
it's
see that. I see the edit, and then I see the live. You know, it says you are live. Edit, remove, then the end stream. I'm not playing around with it.
Are you on Chrome? Because that's the
Uh,
bar I mean, eh? Like where you see your Apple and your Chrome and your file and edit. Literally
Oh.
where the Chrome line is, it'll say
Yeah.
file, edit, and view. And with Chrome, you view and you can advance it up, and you can get people a lot closer. You'll see it's a lot more comfortable. It doesn't screw up your view either, and we don't see you zoomed up there.
You're gonna have to show me.
Yeah. It should be where you see Chrome. If you see Chrome on top, like when you lift up your arrow and Chrome appears,
Just a minute.
complete
Yeah,
top of your screen, it should appear your.
workspace tabs. I mean, I have my tabs that are open.
Like
sure.
in other words, you click on Chrome on the bottom, open a new page, but before having to open it with Chrome, it's instead of clicking on File, you should have View. So maybe you just have it would be an edit. Maybe it could be an edit, and it would be a zoom in, zoom out, and actual size.
We'll play around with it next time. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
And then you'll see actual size. Then after that, you put it back to actual size. If not, you're on YouTube and everything's like big. You see YouTube like this big.
Yeah. I can like advance like the screen share. You mean and make
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. View and that's going to come up. It doubles every time you click on it, so sometimes it's easier to see when you scroll down because the O's and the A's for me they're very small, and I often make a mistake. Hazer is also what the first thing I called him when I saw him. He's a member on the channel, by the way. He contributes. He's another good supporter of the channel. Hazer.
Who? Which one?
Hazer. Yeah.
Okay.
Hazer. Yeah.
I'm so scared now. I'm gonna screw his name up a second way.
Hoser. No.
Invite.
The guy's like Hoser. Some people have an easy way of screwing up the names.
If anybody wants to jump on, unless I don't trust you, unless you look sketchy, but if you're a regular,
when Darla
Hazer
says
is
when you
about
do
that.
that, you lose the chat. When what?
when I do what?
I don't know.
Not sure. I'm still going through a lot of the comments. I'm hoping I'm not missing anybody.
Oh, when you zoom in, she says you lose a chat. Well, not me. Everything becomes very big. So, in other words, see right now there, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see 12 boxes. Okay, in the feed. If you zoom in, you'll see 6, but you don't lose them. You just scroll down.
Yeah.
You see less in a row because it's they're closer. But I find it goes well because if not, it's impossible. You can't answer comments like that. My big screen, they're 32-inch. Everyone is tiny. The icons are as big as pencil points. I can hardly see any of the images.
Too bad. I wonder if JD, if he comes back. Anyways, I put a link because we're verging on an hour and a half. Usually that's where we stop. I don't want to.
Well, real quickly, Jason will be sharing other stuff with you guys about me going to his house in a couple of days, several times to do some infrared testing to see what we can film in the sky over his yard, like literally 30 minminutes away from here. So it's many towns away. So we'll be able to do some good testing.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I'd love
right
to
on, man. I'll do several times, at least 2-3 times before winter comes. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. It's an awesome evening. We can talk, even if we don't see anything. It'll still be interesting. I'll be honest. If we don't see nothing, we see nothing. It can happen.
It's I live in Farmville and stuff, so there's not a lot of lights at night. So it'll
I assume that the UFOs are landing around here because it's farms. So and field. So I'm assuming you would have a lot around you, and you too. You're near the Ontario, so
Yeah.
that's another. There's certain areas that I don't know why, but lights are there in certain areas. They're watching us or something. Whoever the hell they are.
Well, I still remember Michelle talking about the light orb that was very, very low.
Yeah, right. You guys saw one at one point, one or two or one. Yeah.
Well, she saw it, and then she used to smoke like 5 cigarettes a day, so she'd get up at 3 in the morning, almost like a witching hour, and
Oh
she
yeah, you
saw
said, "Why didn't you wake me up that time?" Right?
Yeah, she's like, "Well, I didn't want to wake you up." I'm like,
It's like, what do you mean?
Like,
It's like
please
it's a
wake me up.
UFO. It's like Armageddon
Yeah.
went by. You wake up. There's no more
Oh, yeah.
houses. You didn't wake me up.
She's like, "It was there for 3 hours." She's like, "I went back 3 hours later, it was still there." Like, but not 3 hours, but quite
Yeah, a
quite a
long
long
time.
time and stuff like that. It's like but then I told you I saw the one where we happened to my son, Michelle, me were looking for some reason and all in the same direction. Remember I said, and it looked like more like not a star, more like a rectangle light, and then it started beating out like all these little light orbs,
Right.
And then after it kind of moved like for 45 seconds and then disappeared. But you said it could be a satellite.
Actually it's pretty cool because I posted it 2 days ago on my channel to see what it looks like. It could be a satellite train. Now and then, like, some people are going to say, well, why are yours, Bruce, UFOs, but Jason's were satellite? Well, it's because when you get them in a row like that, it's rare that could be UFOs. In reality, they have launches, and you can usually check the date if there's a launch or not. But no, yeah, Darla, that's going to be awesome. And I'm telling you, I want to know at the same time if ever it's me making them appear, because some people apparently are seeing UFOs, and I wonder if it has to do with the magnetism of the person. Sometimes it doesn't have, could just quite simply have to do with my body, natural DNA or whatnot, Yeah. But I filmed I have a video, Jason. I filmed 182 coming up from the same tree.
Wow.
The exact same tree. Day before 150, day before 100. And I filmed that Monday, Tuesday, rain Wednesday, Thursday. I filmed it. So that's nuts there.
I can't wait to see that.
Because I want to see before filming at your house if we can see them with the naked eye, what we can see first, and then, because don't forget, I do tests. I talk to the sky. I don't show everything I do, obviously, because I'd sound pretty retarded, just literally always talking to the sky. But I do, and I test it. I don't believe
like when you do that, do you turn around and the neighbors in the window going?
Oh yeah, for sure. She's in the window like this, like you see my neighbors in the window like this, and you just see her camera. They're filming me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what a nut.
That's funny.
What a nut. Yeah, exactly. The one that came down to the house and stuff like that. I'm like, it's right beside people. You could, when that UFO came down to the house, dude, I could hear kids going, they were playing in the streets and stuff. And it's like, I wasn't going to go like, hey, voyez-vous l'ovni? You guys see the UFO? I mean, they're going to laugh at me, but it was right there. Nobody sees it, but they're appearing out of nowhere, man. They're literally appearing out of nowhere. Like I saw it, it appear like out of a hole there from small to big, like red blood, It was really weird.
Yeah, see, like it's approval for human studies now. And it's like, I understand that the problem is kind of like Einstein, well, they made like a bomb with his knowledge kind of thing. I don't think that the technology in and of itself is satanic, because they're going to use it for people who are quadriplegic and stuff like that. And I'm sure
exactly. There's a very good
benefits, but it's because it's not going to stop there.
No, they're going to use it for that. And they already did the test, man. There's the monkey that plays the freaking game, a Coleco or Atari game where you have a simple square in the bottom and the ball goes boom, 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 boom. Okay. And the monkey is sitting there. He's looking at the screen. He's going boom, 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 boom with his brain. He's connected to the freaking screen. It's disgusting, man. He's got this big shit thing behind his head because at first it used to be a big friggin' mound. They were doing that a long time. In the 60s, the monkeys had big friggin' things out of their heads, dude, like containers.
Yeah.
They were testing them and shit. It's nuts.
Like Elon Musk is talking about, like the dangers of AI. So, but his response is, well, it's really dangerous. So we may as well join them. If you can't beat them, join them. That's basically, it's like,
yeah, right. It's like, yeah, you go
see
ahead,
the
asshole.
end of humanity kind of
You know what
thing.
his you know what his kid's name is? He goes, how do you pronounce? I watched a British song. How do you pronounce the name of your child? I was very curious. He goes, well, he goes, the squiggly symbol, it's pronounced Osh. And then he goes, well, why the G43? Well, G43 was the fastest moving jet ever to exist. He named his kid after a jet. That's how much he's.
G43 is his actual name.
Yeah. It's like Ash G4. It's like one LB. It's like, okay, C3PO, literally, like C3PO, like a name like one. Look it up for the fun of it. Like his name. He even has that symbol, the A and the E. He goes, it's pronounced Aish, and then it's like the guy was listening to him and say, "You're nuts." Names his kid after a jet. The stupid ass.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. But you want to know what's weird, Jason?
Oh, go ahead.
I asked somebody, I said, I hope he doesn't have twins. And they said, yeah, he does. I said, what? He manipulates DNA and shit. Does he actually have twins? When I heard he had kids, I said, I wonder if they're twins.
His kids are just cloned versions of himself.
It's like 138 and G43. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah, you're right. Look at this. That's the name.
Yeah. Yeah, and the AE. And
What do you want to do with that?
Okay, A12. Sorry, but it was in that context. G43. I knew it was a letter and a number, but there's one of his other kids. I think is G43 or something. But it's pretty retarded. X. I wonder what the X stands for. Duh. Starlink. SpaceX.
Yeah.
That's like if I called my kid Caesar. Hey, little Caesar Jr. That's retarded, dude. It's retarded.
Looks like it's something that you would see in like a spell book.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
It's like it's something you see on the physical timetable. Of elements.
That's so weird. He is a weird dude.
He's definitely weird for sure. Hey, did you see the friggin' video of him before we get off here? Did you see the video of him, man? Where like Elon Musk is somebody I think I almost did it there. I think he has Asperger's, and quite a few people do. So when he talks, he I often he'll lots of ums, and he thinks and he waits. Yeah, he goes, but then he goes online to talk about his brand new car. He comes on stage, no smile. I think I talked to you about this. It scared the hell out of me, man. He comes on stage, he goes, the new XLT car will revolutionize after he talked like a robot and he did not stop. So people posted that video. He goes, Elon Musk talking like a robot. It was retarded, dude. There was no nothing. And it's like he only says after every word, and then there was none, and he shot through that. And Jason, he never blinked. Just sat there with his eyes open. The XLT. It's like, well, that was weird, man. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
But because a lot of these people, they, Asperger's and autism, more Asperger's, I think it's like in one aspect, they're genius. They can't.
Not everybody shows. I know 6 or 7 people ask.
Did you ever see that? I'm not going to get a strike. Don't worry. The guy's blind and autistic. Got Talent.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's really touching. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. He's good too.
Yeah.
Is that the one the opera one? Your love us in love.
No. Tell me if you've seen it. You'll see. Cody.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he rocks. Kicks ass.
You've seen him?
Yeah, I saw them all. I'm pathetic.
No,
I've seen every YouTube video.
I'll put it in case people haven't seen it. Totally off topic, but it's nice.
Yeah.
Hi, Cody.
In this one, he's possessed. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. All right.
America's Got Talent. What's your
Is
name?
it showing?
Hey?
Is it showing up? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Hi, Cody.
I'm Cody.
How old are you?
I am 22 years old.
Yeah.
Lots of talent too. Incredible.
Who are you, miss?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm Mom.
Oh,
I'm
hi,
Tina
Mom.
Lee. Hi, Tina. How are you? What are you going to do here for us today?
I'm gonna sing a song for you on the piano.
I love it.
I love that everyone's patient.
Tina, tell us
That's
a little
that's
bit about
a sign
Cody.
of good people still when you see everyone's
Cody
patient.
is
Well, it's just because you could see like, okay, he has, there's a delay before,
Yeah, but
he's
yeah,
playing.
like the thousands
then
of
you
people
hear
there
him.
though.
Then you hear him. Yeah. And then you hear him like start, and it's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's like,
But a lot
when
of people are judgmental. Like even some people there leaving will look at his friend and say, "Hey, he looked a little dopey." Eh? And in reality, everyone has a heart. All of us, even some of the
this
shithead
guy's
elite.
inspiring.
Yep.
It's crazy, but like a lot of the people with this disease are genius in another aspect. Is crazy.
You might get problems
Blind.
with the video though if you post it, but
It doesn't matter.
and autistic.
Wow.
We found out that he loved music really early on. He listened and his eyes just went huge, and he started singing. And that's when I was in tears, because that's when I realized, oh my gosh, he's an entertainer. So yeah.
I get him where he's saying.
like I couldn't play anything like that, and I have my eyes, and I've been playing since I was.
Yeah,
like,
I know. It's crazy.
Camera's on. Ready?
I would have to practice, Jason. I don't even know if I'd ever come close.
Well, I know you're great, and you play by ear as well. But yeah.
But that's application there. He has no sight, and he's more
I
applied
know.
than I am. Can't tie his shoes though. But imagine.
No, that's what I mean. It's amazing.
He's not idiot savant. It's really autism, or
Well, I think idiot savant used to be like now.
it's an old term. I
bad way of
I like to
saying-
say there's some savant in them, because I mean some of these people are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when they used to call people deaf and dumb, that
Yeah.
were deaf and couldn't
all
speak
for one
and
chromosome.
now
Like the Down
they
syndrome.
they call it mutant or whatever, but a savant, yeah, I guess.
I've been to so many places in my life and time.
I think goosebumps.
Yeah, he's good.
I sung a lot of songs, and I made some bad rhymes. I've acted out my life on stages, 10,000 people watching, yeah. We're alone now, and I'm singing a song to
He's not even forcing his stomach.
No.
I love you in a place, oh, there's no space or time. I love you from my life. You're a friend of mine.
But he can't coordinate like that. It's impossible.
When my life is over, remember we together.
I mean, come on.
We're alone now, and I'm singing a
Hey,
song
he has like a whole.
to
that whole
Yeah, like
chat-
an album now, eh? Like they kept him
Oh,
going.
yeah.
Because that's natural talent there. He's got no course to that guy. Imagine.
To you.
Me, when I see that dude, it makes me want to quit guitar. Honestly, I've seen some people play there, some 4-year-olds. I saw a Chinese 4-year-old play. I wanted to find where he was so I could go tell him to piss off. Amazing. Some kids and stuff. Well, of course.
Like I don't want to get on the abortion issue, but this is the kind of thing that would happen where they'd say, listen, he's going to be blind, he's going to be autistic. We could book you for an abortion, and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like kind of like, God proving a point. That's the
But
way
it makes no sense, Jason, because he can be good at singing, but there's other things he's doing. Well, like I learned myself to understand what he's doing. He's not just singing; he's playing in 4 times of note, 1, 2, 3, and 4. He goes up and down 6 octaves, but he goes evenly a quarter time in each note as he drifts up and down and goes back down on the perfect time. Because I have the ear, and when I hear him go back down on the time like that, I don't understand how his fucking fingers can follow what he's doing, because that's beyond just playing. His voice was almost better than the music. I mean,
Yeah. No,
but it's natural talent. You could tell that he doesn't have courses, and he's just sitting there going, "Ooh, no,
Yeah.
crazy."
Yeah, his brain's just wired differently, and I mean, because of autism and stuff like that, usually they don't do well in groups. Maybe because he's blind, he doesn't realize how many people are watching or something like that. But
that's the only reason why I don't believe I'm autistic, because I like people and I can be in groups. I said, if not, I would have been. I'm probably not diagnosed. But I think we all have parts of everything, parts of bipolarity, parts of autism, parts, somebody says, oh, I don't have diabetes, but we could be this close to having it, the metabolisms,
Yeah, no, there's one doctor that I've worked with that you can tell he's slightly on the spectrum and stuff, and he's one of the best doctors, but awkward.
Yeah. Thank you, Leah.
Socially,
Thanks, Leah.
So
yeah. Thank you, Leah. Hi, Jules, Darla, everyone.
Natural for sure. Yeah. All right. You want to end this in an hour 40 minutes?
Yeah, man. We'll be back on again. And again, guys, stay tuned. Infrared at Jason, video on his side, and I'll be recording when I go down too. Go down early enough, like an hour ahead before darkness, to look around. He's got an amazing area where it's very dark, and we'll be able to view with a certain section, no houses, plenty of room to look. And here, everything's flat. Like basically, we're on sort of a plain, even around Valleyfield. Even where I am here near Ormstown, it's all basically flat. We got nothing till we get to Malone, New York mountains. So, well, man, as always, thanks for having me on. Thanks for asking about my weight, man. Thanks for the tips, tricks, and everything.
I'm gonna have Jan tomorrow at 11. Yeah, Jan.
Okay, are you doing the French?
It'll be in French, yeah.
Okay, so I will share that on the French channel the minute you have the link up. I'll be checking when I get up for coffee tomorrow.
Okay,
what time are you doing that? I will post it on the French
11
channel.
11 Eastern our time.
On my French channel, they love Jan.
Okay, I'll put it up now when I stop this.
Absolutely, I'll share it first thing tonight, and on the French channel, my community, brother.
Good. All right, man. Thanks.
I love you, bro.
Love you.
Love you guys. Thanks, mods, and we'll talk soon, man. We'll set something up.
All right, buddy. Okay.
Later.
Okay. What we could do next time is I'd like to go through this article and this article. So that'll be the two things that we can go before having Bruce on. Garland Farms, I don't think that he's here. He came in and said hello. So he'll be invited as well. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and à la prochaine. Tomorrow, like usual, I'll be doing Mark chapter 10 for the Daily Bread, and then I will be at 11 o'clock with Jan. He's French, so we're going to Jan's going to read Proverbs 1 every once a week. We'll have Jan on there. He's going to read in French the book of Proverbs. So we're starting with the first one of Proverbs, and I'm going to give him the mic for him to express himself on that passage, and then after I'll add my 2 cents. So, all right, God bless, and see you all soon.